literally my video just got drowned out by the noise you hear in the background. Like my video audio was just crushed by that train, sound of the train horn. Here we go. So what I was talking about was when you eat a bad meal, you eat some ice cream in the evening, you have that extra brownie, you don't run a marathon and then eat your bad food, you just decide that you're going to have pizza or stuff your face with some extra and then be like, oof, I'm full. It's not just that you didn't burn that energy. For a lot of us, it's the intolerance on a gastrointestinal level, right? They call the gut the first brain for the reason. Your gut is smarter than you know, and it is protecting you in so many ways. So what I was saying before, and I'm probably just going to go with this shorter version video, is if you've ever made an effort to go on a good nutritional plan, aka a diet, right? Whatever that means. But in this case, we know that a diet means you're on a diet, you're eating healthy, you're restricting calories, you're making sure that you are doing good, to have less weight on you, to have good quality organic whole food, and that you're feeling a lot better than when you were eating pizza and Whataburger or McDonald's, wherever you are. I know it's Texas folk like our Whataburger. So once you're off the poison, done with the shit, you are starting to function optimally. No late afternoon crashes, no blood sugar instability, and these huge peaks and valleys. None of that. You are stable. You're not producing too much insulin. Your blood sugar is stable. Your body doesn't have excess insulin. When your body doesn't have excess insulin, you won't have excess fat. Fat cells love to hang on to excess insulin. That's what makes us fat. That's what gives us additional fat cells. That's what increases our fat cells in size. And that is a very big problem. Some of the most unhealthy people we see, once we actually do get them to get labs, and we do see their metabolic panels, they usually have higher triglycerides. Their HDL is not optimal. Their LDL is probably a little too much, but who cares? But their blood sugar fasting isn't really sometimes a concern because they might not be a diabetic. Their A1C might be pre-diabetic. My A1C is pre-diabetes. We've talked about that many times in the past. But the actual metabolic marker that I like to see is that fasting insulin. And we see fasting insulins in like the double digits. It should be no greater than 5 in a perfect world. Certainly no greater than 7 if you're fairly healthy. And when you have those like big numbers in the fasting insulin, that's really bad. Your body is absorbing and holding on to all that insulin, and you are metabolically broken and you are unhealthy. And exercise alone can't fix that. It's those preliminary meals. It's the meal choices. It's the food that we eat. It dictates our mood. It dictates how we feel about ourselves. It dictates how we think other people perceive us. It dictates so much when it comes to not just how we physically look, but say your baseline is like a 220 pounds being 30 pounds overweight, as an example. What do you think would happen if you were 205 pounds and only, 15 or 10 pounds overweight, based on my example? So what I'm saying is, you can be a little overweight, but as long as you've been losing weight and feeling better about yourself, and people probably who don't see you like every day certainly will notice, and then you're just going to be feeling more clear, better in the gut, better bathroom habits, better sleep, better time waking up, less resistance to exercise during the day or in the evening. All these other amazing, things that happen when you're eating the right foods in terms of energy and all the other acid reflux and indigestion and various other things that go away. So you got a little indigestion today over here. And that's what you want. That's why you want to make the right choices with the food. That's why food matters so much. Not just from energy in and energy out, calories in, calories out. We've got to start living in this world where we are accountable, self-accountability, and being 100% accountable for the food choices we make based off of how it affects us downstream. And then the last thing I'm going to say before I hang it up here is the food choices we make and how it affects everything else downstream, it doesn't just affect you now. People are always like, oh, it's my life. Like, what do you care? Or something like that, especially if you're really suffering and maybe family or friends are intervening because you've had a health scare. That's just it. It's not about you. I hate to break it to you, especially if you have children, especially if you have a spouse that loves you. It's affecting them. It is weighing on them, no pun, a lot more than you realize when your food choices are the reason that you are spiraling out of control. I have experience with this. I have personal experience with this. There's a lot of the reasons I stick a lot to this content. I've seen it with family. I've seen it with friends. I've seen it in myself. And it's too important to tell the truth and for y'all to receive the truth and understand how that burdens your family in terms of the healthcare crisis and how it burdens healthcare on a much deeper level, which we will be doing a podcast about in the future. So everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Get out there and exercise. More important than anything, please, please, please make good food choices for you. Make good food choices for your family. I am getting out of here.